dear students, welcome back to your favorite channel NEET World. This is Vasavi Ma'am, your biology educator. Yes, so students, in this today's particular session, I am going to explain you about the functions of the liver, gallbladder, and the next one is the pancreas. Right, my dear students? Yes. So before starting this session, let's quickly revise what we have discussed in the previous session. Yes. So in the previous class, we have done completely about the functions of the stomach, and we have understood in detail about the peristaltic movements in the esophagus also, right, my dear students? Yes. So the most important things that you need to remember in the functions of the stomach is, so majorly the stomach is going to secrete, okay, it is going to secrete the HCl, okay, it is going to secrete many digestive juices. Along with that, it is going to secrete the hydrochloric acid, okay, HCl, okay. So what is the main role of the secretion of that particular acid, my dear students? It usually kills the bacteria which are going to enter into our body, okay. So usually the bacteria which is present in our stomach or else in our the alimentary canal, so usually the HCl acid which is secreted from the stomach, the HCl is going to act on the bacteria and it is going to kill the bacteria, my dear students. Yes. As well as one more important and interesting function about the stomach is it is going to secrete the enzymes, okay, it is going to secrete the few enzymes. Among them, the pepsin is one of the enzyme which is involved in the breakdown of the complex proteins, okay, it usually breaks the proteins and it converts them into the simple forms to form the amino acids, okay. So proteins are converted into the amino acids in the presence of an enzyme called as pepsin, okay. It is most important, my dear students. Yes. And the next one, yes students, so this is all about the stomach. Already we have done this completely. Yes, if you want to understand more clearly in depth, just click on the click on the sessions in our YouTube channel NEET World. Yes students, so coming towards the today's particular session, we will understand and we will learn about the liver and pancreas, okay. Yes, so all the students just pay your attention. Yes, my dear students, okay. So what is liver actually, okay. So the liver is one of the reddish shaped gland, okay. So the liver is a reddish brown gland which is situated in the upper part of the abdomen on the right side. So what does it mean, my dear students? So usually, can you see this particular visual here? So this is the liver, okay. So this is the liver which is present at the right side, which is present at the upper part of the abdomen, okay. So this is called as the abdominal region. In the abdominal region, it is usually located at the right side in the upper part, okay. So it is usually placed at the right side, and because at the left side, okay, at the left end region, we can find the stomach, okay. So due to the presence of the stomach, okay, due to the presence of the stomach on the left side, the liver is situated on the right side at the upper part near the region of the abdomen, right, my dear students, and it is usually reddish brown. Yes, it is usually the reddish brown shaped gland, okay. And next one, yes, so this is one of the most important point. It is the largest gland of our body, okay. So it is one of the largest gland of our body. And next, so generally the liver is involved in the liver is involved in performing many functions, students, okay. So mainly it secretes, okay, mainly the liver secretes the bile juice, okay. So it is most important. So one of the major function of the liver is it is going to secrete the bile juice which is stored in the, yes, which is stored inside the elongated sac like structure that is called as gallbladder. Can you see this green color shaped one? Yes. So this is called as the gallbladder. So the liver is one of the largest gland. It is usually reddish brown in color, and next it is going to secrete the bile juice, okay. So this is one of the most important function. It is going to secrete the bile juice which is stored in the elongated sac like structure that is called as gallbladder, right, my dear students. So now let's understand what is the major role of the bile juice, okay. Yes, so next, the most important function of the secretion of the bile juice, okay, what usually the bile does in the sense, see here, the bile breaks up, okay. So the bile is involved in the breakdown of the fats, okay. Usually the fats are converted into the simpler forms, okay. So, already students I have said you in the starting session, okay, in the introduction session itself, the complex food we cannot absorb into our body, okay. So, to absorb the nutrients into our body, they need to be converted into the simpler forms, right. So, usually in the same manner, the fats are converted into the simpler forms like fatty acids, okay. So, the fats are converted into the fatty acids, okay. So, to convert, to break down the fats, which use or else which enzyme is important, my dear students? Bile, okay. So, bile is involved in breakdown of the fats into the tiny droplets, okay. So, whenever the fats, okay, consider these are the fat cells, okay. Okay. So, these fats are converted, okay, with the help of the bile juice, okay. Bile juice acts on the fats, and then next these are converted into the tiny droplets, okay. These are then next converted into the tiny droplets, okay. See here, the digestive juices acts on the tiny droplets, and then next they are going to convert into the fatty acids and the glycerol. Yes, my dear students, and next one, bile also helps in the neutralization of the HCl sometimes, okay. So, understood about the liver. Usually the liver is a reddish or a brownish shaped, okay, brownish in color. It is one of the largest gland, and where it is situated, my dear students, it is situated at the anterior part, okay. It is situated at the upper part at the location of the abdomen in the right side, okay. So, it is situated at the right side because in the left side we can find the stomach, okay. The liver is going to secrete the bile juice, which is stored in the elongated sac-like structure that is called as gallbladder. So, now what actually the liver is going to help, okay, what is the major role of the bile, because the bile is going to act, and the bile is involved in breakdown of the fats, it is involved in the breakdown of the fats, and then next the fats are converted into the simpler forms, okay. What are those simpler forms? The fats are converted into the fatty acids and glycerol, okay. So, all the complex food, okay, always remember, my dear students, complex food is not going to be absorbed into our body, okay. So, before that the nutrients has to be broken down into the simpler forms, okay, in the presence of the enzymes, okay. The enzymes are involved in conversion of the complex food into the simpler food, okay. And sometimes the bile juice, okay, sometimes the bile juice is also involved in the neutralization of the hydrochloric acid that is secreted from the stomach. Clear? Yes. So, one of the only just one most important function is it secretes the bile, which is involved in conversion of fats into the fatty acids. Clear? Yes. So, now we will understand what is pancreas, okay. So, you have understood about the liver, right. So, this is the liver, my dear students, okay. So, this is the liver. So, to this gallbladder is attached, and next we will learn about the pancreas, okay. So, where the pancreas is located? Yes. Can you see here in this particular visual? Yes. So, this is a pancreas, okay. Yes. We have understood the functions of the stomach, we have understood the functions of the liver. Next, what is left over, my dear students? Pancreas. Later we will understand about the small intestine and its functions, okay. So, now just focus what is pancreas, okay. So, usually it is a leaf shaped gland, okay. So, usually the pancreas is a leaf shaped gland situated behind the stomach, okay. It is situated behind at the back side of the stomach, okay. Yes. See here it is a narrow leaf shaped like appearance, okay. Yes. See, a pancreas is a long narrow shaped gland, okay, situated behind the stomach, okay. Yes, clear? And next one, the pancreas, okay. So, now from the pancreas what is secreted? From the liver, bile juice is secreted, right. So, from the pancreas, pancreatic juice is secreted, okay. So, what is the main function and what is the main role of the pancreatic juice? It acts on some important and some complex nutrients like carbohydrates, fats and proteins, okay. So, the pancreas, okay. So, can you see the pancreas, my dear students? So, this is the pancreas, okay. So, this is the pancreas, it is a narrow leaf shaped like a gland, okay. So, it is situated behind the stomach, and next it is going to secrete the pancreatic juice, which mainly acts on the nutrients like carbohydrates, fats and proteins, okay. So, when the pancreatic juice acts on the carbohydrates, proteins and fats, then what it is going to do, my dear students? It is going to make the complex nutrients of carbohydrates, fats and proteins, and the next it is going to convert into the simpler forms. Okay, carbohydrates are converted into the glucose, fats are converted into the fatty acids, and next one, okay, fats are converted into fatty acids and glycerol. Okay, and next one, proteins are converted into the amino acids. Okay, so it is most important, my dear students. Okay, always carbohydrates are converted into the glucose. Okay, and next fats are converted into the fatty acids and glycerol, and next proteins are converted into the amino acids. Okay, the enzymatic actions in the presence of which enzymes, that actually, okay, that already have discussed in the previous sessions. If you have any doubts, just click on the sessions in our YouTube channel NEET World. Yes, so clear with the pancreas, it is very easy to understand, my dear students. Okay, it is a narrow shaped gland, it is a leaf shaped appearance, actually it is situated behind the stomach. The pancreatic juices acts on the complex nutrients like carbohydrates, proteins and fats. Next they are going to convert into the glucose, fatty acids, glycerol and amino acids. Done. This is regarding the pancreas and yes, liver, okay, as well as its functions. Okay, yes, in the next upcoming session we are going to discuss about the functions of the small intestine. Okay, that is very important. Yes, stay tuned with the NEET World, like, share and subscribe.